and hopefully they will get soon to the main guy.
Now, women across the country are leading efforts to reduce alcohol harm. They're using education as well as advocacy to change drinking behaviours. Aware.org highlights the role of women in shaping safer communities and calls for a collective approach to addressing alcohol abuse. Joining us this afternoon to discuss this is Mokebe Thulo, CEO of Aware.org. Ms. Thulo, good to have you with us. And happy International Women's Day. What have you been up to?
Good afternoon, Thami. Good afternoon to your listeners. Happy International Women's Day with such a heavy news cycle. I think it's great that we have something positive to talk about. What I have been doing today is a lot of reflection on, I guess, the role that women have to play in this society, in this macro society that we live in.
Marking this day in different ways. What have you as Aware.org chosen to do? What is your focus and why?
So as a part of International Women's Day, we have chosen to particularly recognize women that work in the space of harm reduction, because that is what we do. We want to recognize the contributions of so many women that play a large role in the fight against harmful alcohol use and misuse. And we take this moment to celebrate women across the board.
And why specifically alcohol abuse? Is this really as big a problem as you say it is, as far as women are concerned? And I ask this because there is the stereotype of men being the ones who are prone to alcohol abuse. What do the numbers say?
The numbers say that, I think we know that in terms of population demographics, it's a pretty even split, 50-50, male and female, in this country. It depends on the age group, really, when we talk about harm related to alcohol. When we speak about our under 18s, it is specifically the male child that is more affected than the female child. But of course, most of our research is done through what young people report themselves. So we find that boys are prone to be more honest around their behaviors than young women are, because it is a much more taboo subject. When we look at one of our other pillars, which is don't drink and drive, for example, we find that the bulk of people that are caught drinking and driving, or for DUIs and prosecuted for the like, are men aged 25 to 45. And, you know, I think if you just look at the picture, you can surmise that because the drivers literally in this position are mostly your men. And then, of course, our other pillar is FASD, which is fetal alcohol syndrome disorder, which directly impacts women in this case, as women are the ones that bear children into life, but it is an all-of-community problem. So women are as seriously impacted by the alcohol problem as men are, so it is an equally serious problem across the genders.
And what do you propose as solutions to this alcohol abuse problem, specifically as it relates to women?
I think that we need to give women spaces in order to use their gifts, in order to use what they have from a change point of view. We know that women in leadership often are reported to make an actual difference. We know that women have a specific knack when it relates to community-based issues. And we know that when it comes to innovation and change making, etc., that women have the capacity to do so. And if we look at a sort of matriarchal society and the impact that women can have in terms of society, I think women have an absolutely serious role to play in this. And I think another factor important to mention, and which might not be directly related to the topic, is that if we look at a country like South Africa, where many of our households are missing males or male role models or male leadership, and households are women-led. It means that young people are being raised by women, and therefore these women need to be empowered to be able to change or mold the behavior of young people.
As we wrap up, Mokebe, we've spoken about the side effects of overconsumption. You've spoken about the fetal alcohol syndrome, drinking and driving. But what are the causes? Why are many women or some women finding themselves prone to abusing alcohol?
I think the drivers of the drinking or the misuse of alcohol are similar across the board, and this is what the research tells us. This is what the numbers tell us. We've got role modeling at the top of the list. So within the household, so what are young people seeing happening? Within the community, what are young people seeing happening? The other huge one, specifically for older teens, etc., is the peer pressure that we see. And then, of course, it's the empowerment that is given to young people from the point of view of being able to say no to that, for example, drink, and therefore changes and molds their behavior as they grow through the different pathways of their lives. So I would think, I would say those are the top 3 factors that affect the behavior.
Well, thank you so much, Mokebe, for that insight today, and especially recognizing the fact that it also becomes so much of a lifestyle prop, just something that young people do, and it becomes part of just how they're socialized. But thank you for bringing that up today and focusing on the abuse of alcohol by women. It has been their focus, this International Women's Day. Thank you very much, Mokebe Thulo. She is CEO of Aware.org. She takes us to exactly 26 minutes after 3. We have a special for you.